Welcome back, everybody. Wmbf's Extra Point is here. I'm Dave Acker, and yes, we're talking about playoffs tonight. A full season's worth of work goes out the window. It didn't matter if you were 2-8 or 10-0 going into this one. It's win or go home, and we've got plenty of first-round action for you to start this playoff season. We start in Class 4A, where every team from Region 6 made it in the lower state field. Among them, undefeated, top-ranked, number one, the Bruins. They went through everybody, coasting through the regular season. Perfect 10-0. Their path to states started at home tonight against Richland Northeast. Let's get right into it. Mr. Football, the candidate for Mr. Football, one of the 7, Lenore Sellers, running this offense. And check out, to start things off, the beautiful spiral by Sellers. Juan Fargas takes it right into the end zone to start things off the right way. If you're the home team, we fast forward to the Bruins' very next offensive possession. Sellers out here getting pressured. He escapes, lobs it over. Shaquem Shiloh grabs it right out of the air. So 2 quick scores. It's kind of going like we thought it would, but the defense, they also came to play tonight. Derek Goodman catches that one out of nowhere. Interception, pick 6. Take it to the house. That's 21-0. Second quarter now. Bruins already up 35-0. Sellers dropping back. Takes a step forward, hits Jabray Johnson. He hits the gas, ends up in the end zone. Another Bruins touchdown. We're gonna get less than 2 minutes to go here in the half. South Florence, they might be trying to put 100 points on the board tonight. Sellers firing this one to Johnson, gets it past the goal line, puts that score to 55-6. No mercy tonight in Florence. The Bruins go on to pick up their first win of the postseason, torching Richland Northeast 61-18. Heading to the PD now, West Florence getting to host Lugan Elgin. Demons with the ball here. Beautiful pass, connects to the 30-yard line here. About that makes it 6-0. The Knights, though, they're the home team. They say, no, not so fast. Coach, don't look happy. So the kids, they're going to come out to play. Deuce Hudson, I think he's rocking the number 1 jersey tonight, and he's gone. So it's all tied up 7-7 in this one. The defense, they're going to have something to say about this, too, for West Florence. They get it done on both sides of the ball here. Demons, though, they gave them a run for their money. This one was pretty close, but the Knights, they hang on. They advance in the playoffs, and they get to kind of coast along at the end of this one. 52-27 ends up being your final there. The Wilson Tigers, they travel to the Midlands to take on a really good AC Flora team. We pick up the action in the third quarter. Florida up 28-7. Brian McCart puts the ball over the Falcons defender. That's Jiron Waiters. Scores, so it's 28-14. Fourth quarter now. Falcons respond. Markel Towson takes off the handoff. That's good for 6, so it's 35-14. Falcons continue to pour it on. Carew Bates, he connects to Jack Purdy for another Flora score, so that's going to make it 42-14. Falcons tack on 1 more for good measure, and they would sadly end Wilson's season here after a 49-14 victory. Myrtle Beach, the Seahawks, they're on the road too in the low country, taking on May River. Picking up things in the third quarter again. May River, they're up 14-10, and they add on a score thanks to quarterback Keeper. He gets that one in. Yep, that's 21-10. But here comes Myrtle Beach, the Seahawks. Cacao! Quarterback Wyatt Canyon calls the screen, puts it down, third down. 3 plays later, running back Malachi Washington, we've said his name before, he finishes off the drive with the score. Myrtle Beach are only down 21-17, and they end up scoring another touchdown later in the game, so they get to hold off the home team. 24-21 goes down to the wire, and they're going to face a familiar foe, West Florence, on the road next week. That'll be a good one. North Myrtle Beach Chiefs, they were on the road in their playoff game as well. They took on Irmo. This one was a defensive battle. We can't see from that score, but Irmo came up with the win, 14-7. So a tough loss for the North Myrtle Beach Chiefs there. They end their year with a 2-9 record. The Red Foxes of Hartsville, they've been nobody to mess around with this season. They proved that tonight too. They beat Lucy Beckham 33-14. So the next game for the Red Foxes, a matchup against that really good AC Flora team. So we move on to 4A now, where Carolina Forest, the Panthers, they got to host the River Bluff Gators. First quarter here, Panthers draw blood first. Quarterback Scott Saylor finding Nathan Schulessler on the quick pass. He would give it to the rest of the team early up, 7-0 lead. But check this one out. Next play, Panthers took the punt away, so they get the ball that sails over the punter. Eventually, the Gators recover it in the end zone. So we're all tied up in this one, celebrating in the end zone. Second quarter, Gators drive the ball away to the Panthers territory, and they cap it off with a handoff to Cooper Johns. So they go up 7, but don't count out those Panthers just yet. Later in the second, look at this throw. Toe tapping in the end zone. Throw by Saylor. The toe tap was from Tristan Green for the score. Panthers tie it up. But once again, here comes River Bluff. They were not giving up. Quarterback Austin Cox finding the tight end, Blaine Blows, wide open on that one. He easily gets in the end zone on the other end of the field there. 21-14. So that's the score going into the break. This one continues to go back and forth. But the Panthers, they rise above against the Gators. 42-28 is your final there. So let's go head down the road here. St. James, the Sharks, playing host to their first playoff game at home against Berkeley Stags. St. James offense looking good here. It's Connor Schwalm. He connects to Ben Sant for the first down. Drive stalls those. The Sharks attempt a trick play there, and that ends up being an incompletion. So we fast forward second quarter. Schwalm trying again. He finds Shant this time. Berkeley's Josh Youngblood. He picks it off, though, with that kind of 50-50 ball there in the end zone. Wouldn't take long, though, for the Sharks defense to come up big. That's Ryan Largan getting the interception from the Stags quarterback, so we give St. James great field position, and now here's Schwalm finishing the drive here, scampering in that end zone. 6 points for the Sharks. That puts them on the board first. Ultimately, though, it was Berkeley. They walk away with the 14-12 win, putting the end to the Sharks season in that one. Also in 5A tonight, Conway headed down to the Low Country to face Somerville in their first round matchup. Didn't go as planned. Green Wave proved too much for the Tigers. Final score 48-0. So the Tigers season comes to an end there too with a 4-7 final record. Whew. We are halfway there. Still a bunch of action and a lot of final scores to report for you. Highlights and our play of the week when we come back. Alrighty, welcome back to our special playoff edition of Extra Point. We have so much more to get to, so we're going to start in Class 3A with a big border battle for the first round. Marlboro County look to avenge their regular season loss against an undefeated 10-0 Dillon Wildcats team. To the White Walls we go for this one. First possession for the Wildcats. They didn't waste any time here, punching that one in for the touchdown. However, they missed the extra point, but the Wildcats go up 6-0 nonetheless. Marlboro County, they would have their opportunities, but the Wildcat defense only allowed one first down the entire first half. Halfway through the second quarter, Wildcats strike again after a turnover on downs. They tack on the 2-point conversion here, so they take on the 14-0 lead, kind of like they didn't miss that extra point. 6 minutes left until the halftime break. Dillon defense forcing another 3-and-out, and then a blocked punt. It puts them on the 5-yard line. That's not too shabby for field position, huh? No shocker here with that great field position. They punch it right in for the touchdown. They do miss another extra point, though, but 20-0 at halftime, the lead. That ain't so bad. Marlboro County would keep it from being a blowout. They do come back a little bit, but Dillon wins in this one. Final score 49-12. The Loris Lions had a tough matchup against the Camden Bulldogs, and this one sadly wasn't close for us as Camden gets the Loris Lions here 29-2. Loris ends the season with a 7-4 record. Another Horry County team in action tonight. Aner went to Crestwood to take on the Knights. Crestwood edges out the Blue Jackets, so 38-30. Sounds like a great one there. Blue Jackets season ends 6-5. So we're going to head down the highway a little bit. Highway 501, Shara hosting their playoff opener. The Swamp Foxes put up 76 points on this team back in September, but this one was a defensive struggle early for both teams. Marion smothering the Braves on this first down. Tyson Sanders forcing that runner out of bounds. Swamp Foxes with the ball. They take the shot down the field, and the connection just quite not there as Jamaris Williams campering in the pass from Gabriel Cusack. We're moving now to the second, still scoreless. Quay Scott, he changes that thing with a punt return. Makes a few tacklers miss, racing down that sideline. Swamp Foxes go up 6-0. But it wouldn't be enough. Shara avenges the blowout from earlier this season. Who saw that coming? 21-20 is your final score. A heartbreaker there for Marion as their season is over just like that. And then we finish up in 2A. A couple scores here for you. The Andrews Yellow Jackets win the Battle of the Yellow Jackets against Buford 50-21, and then the season comes to an end for the Kingstree Blazers after dropping to Timberland the Wolves 26-6. And then here's another undefeated team, the Flashes. They take on Military Magnet Academy, the Eagles at home. They're trying to keep their record perfect, the Flashes are. They come out of the gate strong. Look at that, Trent Tribble. He turns on the Jets, goes untouched in the end zone. First 6 points there. Johnsonville, they go for 2, and they get it easy thanks to Gamal Brown plowing through the defense. So we're up 8-0. Flashes quickly shut out the Eagles, get the ball back. That's quarterback Antonio Rodriguez-Gonzalez getting it to Jalen Waiters, wide open in the end zone. So we're up 15-0. Another one, they're not done yet. Rodriguez-Gonzalez escaping under pressure, gets it to Jamal Ankrum, gets it down there for another touchdown. Too easy for the undefeated Johnsonville Flashes, up 22-0. This game over in a flash. Johnsonville wins easy, 57-14. Let's go ahead and get caught up on 1A now. The Silver Foxes of Lamar have no problems there, taking out the Allendale Fairfax Tigers, shutting them out. Shutout, I think our first shutout of the night, 41-0. Also in Class 1A, Carver's Bay Bears beat the brakes off St. John 65-6. Lakeview Wild Gators advance after beating Whale Branch 43-21. The season for Latta, the Vikings, comes to an end sadly after losing 42-12 against Bamberg Earnhardt there. Scotts Branch loses a close game to Baptist Hill 8-0 in a shootout. Hannah Pamplico loses by just 4 points to East Hill. That's a ranked team, so that's no joke there. And then East Clarendon, they get the shutout. Oh, another shutout on the night by Cross. They lose 39-0. A lot of scores there, and we have some Skeeza action for you as well tonight. Trinity Collegiate, they win 28-21 over Ben Lippen. They advance to the second round now in the 4A playoffs. That's for Skeeza. And then in Class 3A for there as well, the Golden Eagles of PD Academy, and they match up against the Eagles as well. We'll get that final score there for you. The Hilton Head Prep game on your screen. We'll get that on our website. You can always check our website for all these final scores. And then Florence Christian beats Hilton Head Christian 43-36 in that one. Like I said, go to our website for those final scores later in the night. And in Class 1A, the season will end for the Kings Academy Lions after dropping tonight's game against Lee Academy 54-13 in that one. Now, one of my favorite parts of the night. It's that time of the night for our play of the week. I hope I didn't spoil it this time. We're on the street as I've done that before. Could have been a few options, honestly, in this one. That punt return was pretty good. Drum roll, please. Roll the tape. No surprise. It involves the Syracuse commit. Sellers gets the pressure, spins around, dumps it out. Shaquem Shiloh, we've said his name a lot. He snags that one right out of the air. Let's slow it down for you. Watch it again. The top 7 finalists for Mr. Football, looking like Mike Vick back there with the spin moves. And then just great hands here as well from Mr. Shiloh. Takes a second in slow-mo, but boy, got that just in time with that defender coming across. So a great play there as we watch it one more time in full speed. Excellent play from the #1 team in the state there, still undefeated on the season, and that is our extra point play of the week. That about does it for week 1 of the playoffs of the 2022 season. A lot of blowouts, some upsets for us. The teams ending their seasons, obviously it's going to happen. We never wish it on anybody, but many teams still with a state championship hope alive. It only gets harder from here as the teams, it's just gonna ramp up as we go along. The teams only get better, and hot teams, maybe some of those upsets start to pile up, and we might see some great games. Same time, same place next week, folks. We leave you here with one last look at some of the best touchdowns from the night. As I say thank you to all the hard-working people behind the scenes here at WMBF. Thank you all for staying up late and watching with us, and good night.